Happy Friday, everyone. I'm Carlos Silva, the Lone Star Varsity editor here at the Lubbock Avalanche-Journal, joined alongside by Bryan Navarette, and you're watching the roundup of the Day 2 action of the FiberMax Caprock Classic. I was at Coronado Trimble Tech. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but the important one that we were watching was the small school boys bracket, and you were, of course, at New Deal Lubbock Christian. Expecting a lot from this game, but it seemed like the Lacey's out there and New Deal really kind of turned up.
They did there at the beginning. Jordan and Jaron Lacey, they got them out to an 8-0 run. It's just Lubbock Christian was able to kind of sink some threes and catch up there towards the end of the half, or towards the end of the first quarter. They actually tied it on a three-pointer, and then they ended up extending it there in the second quarter and ending up with the lead there in the second half, which if you talk to Lubbock Christian coach, he had mentioned that how big that was for them to get that lead going into the third quarter. They turned it around. They were able to kind of bottle up Landon Gomez, who was the shooter for Lubbock Christian a little bit there in the second half, but he ended up getting the game winner from the free throw line for him, drew the foul, got to the free throw line, and just did a really good job for him. Real clutch player, I would say. Very
much so, and not only that, but in your game, you kind of talk about how it's been a similar situation for him. So, of course, you can check LoneStarVarsity.com for that gamer, as well as all the previews and recaps for all the games that happened on Day 2, and, of course, Day 1 as well from the FiberMax Caprock Classic. The game I was at, Coronado against Fort Worth Trimble Tech, it was a game where we thought Jared Culver needed to kind of do what Jared Culver did, which he did. And then, of course, the previous day, he actually got some great help from some of his teammates, Blair Conrad, Blake Tuazon, Christian Hayes. He got that help. It's just they weren't able to score early on, only scored 8 points in that first quarter, and that kind of led them to dropping that game 63-58. Coach Randy Dean told me after the game it was just a matter of they just couldn't get in rhythm offensively, weren't able to help themselves on defense. They were able to get it within 3 points, and then at 1 point later on in the fourth quarter, but Trimble Tech was just too much. That, of course, puts them out of the championship of the large boys bracket in the Caprock Classic. So tough one there for the Mustangs, but of course you can get all that information at LoneStarVarsity.com to see where everyone's kind of playing. And then, of course,
we still got Trinity coming back in the championship, large school, so
absolutely
one team to look forward to.
Not only that, but then you got Estacado, who's actually been there the last 2 years, that being the championship.
Oh, yes. Estacado and Trinity playing for that last spot.
They will be playing tomorrow at 9 a.m. at Friendship. Of course, for all the matchups, you can always get all of that at LoneStarVarsity.com, and of course, LubbockOnline.com will have all that information along with the video, and then of course everything else to kind of get you caught up for all the championship game action, which will take place at the Rip Griffin Center at the campus of Lubbock Christian University. That all starts at 4:30 p.m. tomorrow, and then of course goes all the way to 9:15 p.m. with all those games. And of course, there's 4 championship games for the 4 divisions with the 80-plus teams that we've had. Lots of great action. We've got 4 gamers in tomorrow's paper along with the roundup for the boys and girls. And like I said, of course, all the divisions and, of course, all the agate. I guess from you, Bryan, just the last 2 days, anything kind of stand out to you?
Monterey's performance, Monterey girls. They beat 2 teams today to advance to the championship, which coming into this one, my eyes weren't exactly on Monterey and the Lady Plainsmen, but they're definitely there now. A lot of big players coming up for them late here in these last 2 games, and kind of looking forward to see how they do in that championship game. Small school. Oh, no, large school.
Large school.
Large school.
And, of course, one person to look out for, Braylon Dollar. Very, very good athletic talent. One thing for me, Jared Culver scored 20-plus points, in the loss to Trimble Tech, and not only that, but then he scored 44 in a 72-71 victory earlier on against Lake Travis to get them to that point. So certainly a very, very good talent in Jared Culver. Of course, everyone knows he's the Texas Tech signee, but a lot of great talent going into tomorrow's action, that being Saturday at Lubbock Christian University, the Rip Griffin Center. Starts at 4:30, all the championship games. If you want to get caught up, don't forget LoneStarVarsity.com. LubbockOnline.com, and then, of course, you can follow all the action on Twitter, at LoneStarVarsity.com, at CM Silva Jr., at AJ_B Navarette. With all that information, I think that's the roundup of the FiberMax Caprock Classic there, Bryan.
Yeah, a lot of good games going on tomorrow, and we are going to be there to cover them all.
And, of course, we'll be there with the video as well to recap all the action at the FiberMax Caprock Classic in the video format. Up until then, we'll talk to you Saturday night.